This is their permanent home. They wanted this to speak to tribal members and have deep and meaningful culture throughout the building. And so it was pretty neat. In the very beginning of the project, we asked them, and they were nice enough to do this for us. They put on what they call what we called a cultural immersion workshop. We took over 30 people, anyone that was going to have a meaningful role in the project. We took down to Durant, and we went through a day-long process where they taught us a whole lot about their culture. They started with pre-removal and post-removal history of the tribe. They talked about traditional dances, traditional arts, basket weaving, beadwork, dressmaking, all of these kind of things. They fed us traditional meal. They played stickball for us. It was a pretty fantastic experience. And it's not that you can learn everything that there is to know about any culture in one day, but it really gave us a great background, and it helped us work with them to pull things out that they didn't even know that they wanted to include in this project. So it was this really collaborative thing, and really everything that we learned then and then even moving forward found its way into the building in some way or another.
Pick a couple of examples of spaces that you could walk me up to and say, here's what this depicts and how it came about.
Right. So I think the main lobby is well, actually, I would say starting at the outside of the building is one good place to start. So as you drive up, there's two things. One, they have a legend in the tribe, and this is a legend that's shared between the Chickasaw and the Choctaw Nation about the leaning pole, right? So there were two brothers, Chickasaw and Choctaw, and as they were on a journey, they would stick a pole into the ground each night, and whichever way that was leaning in the morning is the way that they would travel, and they would continue doing that until they stuck the pole in the ground, and when they woke up, it was still standing straight up, and that's where they settled for permanently. So as you drive up to the campus, the first thing that you see is a leaning pole that was created by a tribal artist. And so it's guiding, it's leaning towards the headquarters building. And as you continue that drive up, there's all kinds of cultural symbolism, even in the pavement. But as you get up to the building, there's another standing pole right in front of the building that sort of represents they found their permanent home. This is where they're going to settle for good. It's not just the Choctaws only, but the tribes are, they're a living culture, right? They're not stuck in the past. And so this idea of past, present, and future needed to find its way into the building. And so there's a lot of things that hark back to traditional symbolism and materials, and including plants and the connection with the earth. But as part of that present story, we needed to incorporate current tribal members into it. And so we do in break rooms and in artwork throughout the building. We've got pictures, current day pictures of tribal members.
You told me earlier that you're Creek yourself.
Yes, sir.
How did that work out in this project? I mean, did you bring an affinity for it that maybe others might not have? Did you learn anything?
Absolutely.
I mean,
all of those things. And so we've been fortunate enough to work for a lot of tribes. So coming from Native culture, I do know a whole lot about my own tribe. But the reality is every tribe is different. The culture is not the same. They have their own history. They have their own languages and what's important to them. And so understanding it in general, I think, gives us a great background, but we still have to go in and we have to listen to them. And we need to do our research, and then we need to understand and hear their stories and what of that they want to be told, what they want to incorporate from their culture into the design. So it does give you a good background, but you have to go in with an open mind and hear about them specifically.